You know that feeling, right? You're watching an ad and it just hits you emotionally, but you can't quite put your finger on why. It's not always the big flashy visuals or the dramatic music. Sometimes the real power is hidden in the tiniest words, the ones you barely even notice. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that hidden language.
I mean, seriously, think about it. We are surrounded by ads all day long. We know they're trying to influence us, but how do they actually do it? How do they manage to slip past our critical thinking and speak directly to our emotions? Well, the secret, it turns out, is hiding in plain sight. It's all about those tiny connecting words. You know, the buts, the so's, the becauses. These are the words that are secretly building an argument in your head and steering your emotions before you even know what's happening.
And to really see just how powerful this is, we're going to look at a fantastic example. It's a really memorable Christmas ad from 2020 by the Brazilian brand O Boticário. This one is a perfect puzzle for us to solve together.
So the ad tells this really beautiful, heartwarming story. It starts with a young black kid at Christmas time, and you can see he's kind of wrestling with the classic image of a white Santa Claus. Then the story jumps forward, and we see him as an adult becoming a black Santa himself. It's this amazing moment of representation for a whole new generation of kids.
Okay, so right at the core of this ad's narration, there's this one critical line. The narrator says, "Every kid likes Christmas, right? But one thing intrigued me. That one little word, mas, which is just Portuguese for but, that's it. That's the key to this whole emotional mystery."
So how in the world does that one word create such a complicated feeling? How does it capture that conflict between the joy of Christmas and the feeling of, well, not quite belonging? That's the puzzle we're here to solve.
All right, to crack this case, we need the right detective tool. And lucky for us, there's a whole field of study for this called argumentative semantics. It's all about finding the invisible signposts in our language, the ones that direct our thoughts down a certain path, without us ever even realizing we're on a guided tour.
And these little signposts have a name, of course. Linguists call them argumentative operators. Just think of them like road signs in a conversation. They aren't the place you're going, but they are absolutely telling you which direction to turn to get to the speaker's intended destination. And of course, different signs do different things, right? You've got words like and or also. They just add more evidence to the pile, making an argument stronger. Then you have therefore or so, which basically shout, hey, here comes the conclusion. But then you have words like but or however. These are the real game changers. They signal a sharp U-turn, introducing a counter-argument that can flip the entire meaning on its head.
Okay, so now that we have our tool, let's go back to that ad and see the magic of that one little word but in action. I mean, just look at the difference here. If you take but out, the sentence is super simple. Every kid likes Christmas. I feel happy, right? It's just a positive statement. But the moment you drop that but in there, every kid likes Christmas, but bam, suddenly you've got conflict, you've got intrigue, you've got a whole hidden story that's about to be revealed.
This is a perfect illustration of the core idea here. That one word, but, it's like a stage director. It brings multiple, even conflicting viewpoints onto the stage at the exact same time. It's a concept linguists call polyphony, literally many voices speaking at once, all packed into a single sentence.
So what are all these different voices saying? Well, but activates all of them. First, you have the common belief, right? Every kid likes Christmas. And from that, you get the expected feeling. So, I should be happy. Then, the but slams on the brakes and introduces the counterargument. But something doesn't feel right. Santa doesn't look like me. And that leads to the real feeling. So, I'm not 100% happy. It's an entire internal argument happening in just a few words. And what the narrator is doing is using but to push away that simple expected feeling of happiness and instead embrace the more complex real feeling of being an outsider. That clash, that internal conflict, that's exactly where the ad gets its emotional punch. That's what makes it so powerful. So we've totally cracked the code on this one ad. But what's the big takeaway here? How can you start using this new superpower to read between the lines in everything you see and hear? It's actually pretty simple, just 3 steps. First, just start listening for those little signpost words. When you hear a but or a so or a because, just pause for a second. Step 2, ask yourself, okay, where is this word trying to take me? What's the destination? And finally, number 3, you can uncover the hidden argument. Just look at what's being said out loud versus what's really being implied.
And once you start listening for these little words, you're going to see them everywhere. I mean, everywhere. In news headlines, political speeches, and for sure in ads. You'll start to realize that the most persuasive messages aren't about the big, loud statements. They're built on the quiet, clever, almost invisible structure of these tiny little words.
So I'll leave you with this. As you go about your day, just try to listen for those little signposts. Because the real question isn't just what people are telling you, it's how they're telling you. What invisible words are shaping what you think, maybe even right now?